Hi, I'm Ferg, Daphne's husband and tech geek. I'm pleased to let you know that Daphne's blanket books, her blanket patterns, including this one, and over 50 knitting stitch patterns are now available for free download. There are full details on how to get them at the end of this video. So it's now on with the tutorial. Welcome to this tutorial video for Daphne's Ribbons and Bows baby blanket. The blanket features multiple stitch patterns and many colours and is adorned with ribbons and bows.
Welcome to Ribbons and Bows Baby Blanket. I've only just started this project and I'm so excited because I'm going to be doing two of my favourite things. I'm going to be using lots of colours and using lots of different stitches. The stitches are butterfly stitch pattern, mock honeycomb, bobbles on garter, dimple stitch pattern, checkerboard bows, basket weave and ribbon eyelet pattern. It's going to be such a glorious knit. Except for ribbon eyelet pattern, there are large print versions of these stitch patterns for free download in PDF format. Download instructions are at the end of this video. There is also a free tutorial for each of these stitches. The only stitch not available in large print is ribbon eyelet pattern, but I'll show you what to do now. And I've done some stocking stitch and a row of garter. Now this is the eyelet pattern. Knit one, knit two together, yarn forward, knit two together, yarn forward, knit two together. It's the same all the way along till you get to the last two stitches. And when you get to the last two stitches, that's yarn forward and it's knit two, not knit two together. The eyelets are completed in the next row. It's just a knit row. So you knit the yarn forward, knit the stitch, knit the yarn forward, just knit all the way along, and then you have completed the eyelets. There will be some more stocking stitch above that and one row of garter above it as well. But the actual eyelets are now finished. Off to a good start. I have completed basket weave and butterfly stitch with the eyelet stitch in between. Two more colours, two more stitches. This one is bobbles on a background of garter stitch and this one is called dimple stitch. This baby blanket is progressing beautifully. Two more colours, two more stitches. This one is mock honeycomb and this one is checkerboard bows. The instructions I have given you for the bows tells you to do 3 wraps on either side. I made these bows a little bit bigger with 4 wraps. I wanted a loose, fluffy look for the blanket. If you'd like a neater, more controlled, neat bows, do the 3 wraps that are mentioned in the directions, in the instructions. It's up to you. A neat, controlled look or a wild, fluffy look. Use markers to tell you where to position the bows. There are 2 rows of just knitting that come in between the first set of bows and the offset second set of the bows. Use one of those 2 rows to reposition the markers ready for the next set of bows. For the last band of colour, I have a new colour but a repeat pattern. This is basket weave, which is the one we started with. You always get nice square corners with basket weave, and that's why I chose to start this rug with basket weave and also to finish the rug with basket weave. I'm finishing off this rug with garter stitch borders. I find the easiest way to pick up stitches is to use a crochet hook, then transfer it to the circular knitting needle. For picking up stitches along the edge, the side edge of this rug, I used this pattern. The first row of knitting, I picked up one stitch. Second row of knitting, I picked up a second stitch. The third row of knitting, I missed it, but then I picked up another stitch in the fourth row, miss one row, pick up another stitch in the next row, miss one row, pick up one, miss one row. So 2 together, then 3 spaced. I'll show you how. I picked up 4 stitches in the eyelet band of knitting. Now, 1, 2 in each of those rows, miss one. It's 1, 2, 3, miss one, 4, miss one, 5, miss one. Then it's back to 2 together. 1, 2, miss one, 3, miss one, 4, miss one, 5, and keep repeating. Slip it onto your needle. At the ends, pick up stitches across that border in the same ratio as you picked up coming down the side edge. So that makes 9 or 10 stitches there. Once you get to the main body of the blanket, you just pick up 1 stitch for each knitted stitch. So that's 1 for 1. So you end up with the same number of stitches as you had when you were knitting the body of the rug. So just 1 for 1. When blocking, you should stretch your garment out to its full extent. This will ensure good stitch definition for each of your stitches. Then it needs a good drenching. I wet it so much it takes a couple of days to dry. After it's thoroughly wet, you need to tweak each of your bobbles until they're all standing erect. For best results, you should just do one final thing with all these beautiful bows. You just need to stretch them out evenly. Just thread them onto your needle. Give them a good stretch. Now, I knitted a rug 9 years ago and used this pattern, and the little bows have never undone. They are still as firm as ever. That was with 8-ply yarn, and I don't see why 4-ply shouldn't be just as firm. I think when you do this when it's wet, some of the fibres just felt together a little on the knots. When the blanket is dry, I'm going to thread thin ribbon through all the eyelets. In each row of ribbon, I'm going to tie 1 small bow. I've put pins to be markers where each bow will tie in a random pattern. Now let's add the finishing touches to this baby blanket. The ribbon and bows. Thread the ribbon through, tie your small knot, and then finish it, or starting from underneath and finishing down that hole there. Now, before you tension up the ends, you need to sew the ribbon so that it doesn't come undone. Just stitch it in and stitch it in place. Attach it to the knitting there, just underneath. I'm going to stitch each side of the bow to make sure it stays exactly how I want it. Okay, I'll finish that in a moment. Okay, stitch that in, then tension it up, and of course the last thing you'll need to do is to sew the end in neatly so it doesn't unravel. I think the little bows just add the finishing touch to this lovely blanket. I'm still loving all the different stitch patterns and all the lovely colours. With the colours, this is one blanket where you can really go crazy with the colours, or be very refined. It'll be beautiful in just one colour or in any sort of colour combination.
Enjoy knitting this beautiful blanket. Daphne's pattern books, blanket patterns, and patterns for more than 50 knitting stitches are available as free downloads. To get a free download, send an email to knitwithdaphne@gmail.com and include the subject Free Download. There is no need for any content in the email, and then send the email. You will receive an automatic response to your email that includes the link to access Google Cloud. Here you will be able to download the PDF pattern file.